Hello and welcome to Adventure in Platforming.
One adventure.
You voted for this edition.
Yeah. You guys denied me getting to yell at Wheels while he plays Ty the Tasmanian Tiger.
So, as always, Adventures in Platforming always delivers on their Twitter polls.
And most Mega Man Legends too.
We stream that. There's an episode titled Mega Man Legends 2.
We've lied about things in the past for no real reason. I don't even know. Like, I told you it wasn't a platformer, you were like, I'm gonna do it anyway, and then you never did it.
Yes, we will eventually.
Like, for Mega Man Legacy Collection 5?
Maybe.
No, actually, when Mega Man Legacy Collection 2 comes out, you're gonna be like, oh, it's an MML2 screen. And it's just gonna be Mega Man Legends 2.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Cool.
Hollow.
We're doing Hollow Knight, which is an absolutely beautiful, seemingly hand-drawn game.
Welcome. No pixels here, we used a pencil. I've been very fascinated by how analog tapes worked the past few days, and I've been looking into that. That's been strange.
Why?
Because it's fascinating.
Do you need to do some tape backups or something?
No, I just think it's fascinating. Like, the concept of a rotating head in your VCR exists because, like, well, something has to be moving fast for us to record a signal above 5 megahertz. Originally, we used the tape, and that made it so that all tape had to be comically long, like thousands of feet to record 60 seconds of video. But then we realized, what if we rotate the head and have it at an angle to the tape? It's fascinating. I'm fascinated. Look at how pretty this is.
It's quite a pretty game, so I don't really know who made this or any of the history behind this game.
I'm going straight to Wikipedia so that we can be at least slightly less stupid about this. I do not mean to be rude. That probably came off ruder than I intended. Okay, it's made by a development team apparently referred to as Team Cherry. It was originally a Kickstarted game, and was, oh, I'm glad that, I love when Wikipedia has, like, links to things like Team Cherry, and it's like, when I click that, it just takes me to Hollow Knight. But it is apparently being ported to the Switch.
Oh, sweet.
Let's see. I'm going to see if I can at least look at their Kickstarter so I can get a better idea what this was. But hey, Kickstarter success stories, those are always nice.
Yeah. You know, platformers on Kickstarter always turn out well.
Yeah. World of Insects and Heroes for PC, Mac, and Plex is a Kickstarter staff pick back in 2014 and raised approximately $57,000 Australian. So that would imply that they are an Australian team.
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
I'm sure that no one in Australia is sick of that.
I've been listening to a lot of Talking Simpsons, so...
Oh, so have I. It's a very good podcast.
Yeah.
I don't think they've reached Bart versus Australia yet, have they? Or was that long ago?
No, but it just puts lots of Simpsons quotes in my head.
You played Knifey Spoony before?
I see you've played Knifey Spoony before.
But, yeah, so...
I would say, hey, we gotta do a Simpsons platformer, except they're all trash.
Krusty's Super Fun House is not hideous. All the other ones are bad. Every single one.
Absolutely, every
Krusty's
single
Super Fun House was originally a puzzle platformer called Rat Trap that they just skinned The Simpsons onto. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, a lot of this is just the game, them sort of explaining the kind of game we're looking at. And these early, like, pieces of art are very representative of what the final product looks like. they certainly don't seem to have overpromised, which I appreciate. Not a very good distinctive bug art.
Yeah, and you know, as much as Kickstarter, you know, like people, I guess, have made fun of because of things like Mighty Number 9, it has brought out tons of nice little projects.
We would not have Shovel Knight were it not for Kickstarter.
No.
Think about that for a moment.
Trying to think some other cool platformers.
Listen, I know that some
Genie
people
Hero.
don't like Ukulele, but I'm never going to say that like Ukulele wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
Very excited for Switchy.
Me too.
I've heard that they actually just did a patch to Ukulele.
I'll have to check and see if that came out.
Dirtmouth, that was my nickname in middle school.
If it did come out, then I'm gonna have to get to World 3 so we can do the next part of that.
It might only be out on PC as of now, though. It's got a very lonely sort of art. It's interesting. Even when there are other characters on screen that aren't there to hurt you, it's got a very sort of solitary vibe.
It does. And it's a pretty simple art style, but it just...
It's very distinct.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, other things that would not exist were it not for Kickstarter. Undertale.
Yeah.
It's not a platformer, but...
Yeah, I was trying to specifically think of other platformers.
Yeah. I mean, Hat in Time's still coming, though.
Trying to think if Risk of Rain ever had a Kickstarter. I know it was originally a college project.
It might have. It seems like something I'd have heard of on Kickstarter. Let me check. Okay, Google does autocomplete a... Yeah, there was a Risk of Rain Kickstarter back in 2013. I've never actually taken Risk of Rain. I don't know how it plays.
It's interesting. It's actually more focused on the action side than the platforming side.
Fair enough.
It's,
Meanwhile, okay.
I was gonna say it's kind of in the Binding of Isaac vein, so you can collect lots of
I've heard it has roguelike
items and stuff. Like one of the cool ones I found in the run I did the other night, where we actually ended up beating the final boss, was whenever you kill an enemy, your maximum health increases.
Was that run recorded, or...?
Yeah, I have the whole run recorded. That's probably gonna go up sometime after this episode.
The first Adventures in Platforming I was entirely shut out of the editing room for.
Probably for the best, because I was actually up till 3:30 in the morning trying to complete that run.
Why did you destroy yourself? Yeah. And hey, we might do that Crash Bandicoot thing I was yelling at you about.
Yes, so are we gonna race 1, 2?
I was leaving that up to you.
I was thinking about that. One gets brutally hard, so I don't know if I want to do one.
One gets brutally hard, but it takes a while to get brutally hard. The thing that's gonna make it... The question that's gonna come into play is, like, are we shooting for 100%, like, would percentages count more, or would levels completed count more?
Levels completed.
Okay.
Like
because some of those gems in the first one are going to be really hard because they've made it so that you actually have to get all so Crash Bandicoot 1, you have the gems are already in there, but the bonus stage boxes don't count towards the gem in the original version, but they do in this remake. And some of those bonus stages were not really built around the idea that you were actually getting all the boxes. So that could be really hard. There's at least one bonus stage that has to have been altered because it would not actually be it's not actually possible to get every box in it and survive. So I'm interested in how that turns out.
Correct this.
On the other hand, I'm way more familiar with 2 and 3. So
I'm less familiar with 2 and 3. Although I don't think I've ever actually finished 1 because of how brutally hard it gets. Let's just do 2. I think
Two is the nexus point. Like
I think it's a more refined
2 is my personal
game.
favorite.
Yeah, let's do 2.
Dun 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 dun. Yeah. I wish I could hear the music here. I feel like it would be slightly desolate. I've been playing a lot of gothic platformers recently. Which is to say, I've been playing a lot of Castlevania.
I think that this guy is humming like an oddly familiar tune. Can't quite put my finger on it.
I wish I could hear it.
Well, you know what? It kind of reminds me of Luigi humming in Luigi's Mansion.
I love any time like a character is humming like the theme to their show or game. Like Luigi humming like the Luigi's Mansion theme, getting progressively more terrified as he does it. That's always good.
That game is just incredible.
Incredible, charming attack. To me, the thing that's interesting about it is that in many ways it's Nintendo doing an old school Resident Evil game.
Yeah.
Its progression and structure is very similar. It doesn't really have the resource ration management, but like the puzzle and like progression are very similar.
Yeah. Lots of finding specific keys.
Yeah, finding specific keys, like the solving puzzles, which in Luigi's Mansion are done to like reveal portrait ghosts and booze, but like that sort of like you're slowly uncovering a mansion. It's hard not to be reminded of Resident Evil 1. You ever finished that?
Resident Evil 1?
Yeah.
Many times.
Good. Original flavor or remake?
Original.
I've done both. I prefer remake, as I think most everyone in the world does. But...
On the Saturn and PS1.
Oh man, that Saturn version is super expensive.
I don't know why. It's trash.
It's rare, and it's actually historically significant because like the Extreme Battle game that showed up in a lot of the later games actually debuted in the Saturn version.
Interesting. Yeah, I mentioned sold my copies. It's just like,
probably got a fair price penny for that.
Yeah, it was like, why do I have this? This is not a version of the game I want to play.
Surprisingly, my favorite version of the original Mansion layout is actually the DS version. That version is really good.
Yeah, that's another story.
Like, always having the map with you is super useful.
Yeah.
And because RE4 had just come out, they mapped the survival knife to the L button, which made it like the only time in the classic series that it's useful outside maybe Code Veronica.
Yeah, that's why I always wanted more platformers like, say this, on the DS and 3DS, because that second screen is just perfect for that kind of game.
Yeah, like
always have that map with you.
People got very derisive of the idea of, oh, you're just using it for a map, and it's like, yes, having a map at all times is really useful. As it turns out, I don't really feel like that's something to be derided, it's just a good use of a second screen. Like, if there's anything I'm a little sad about on the Switch, it's that that necessarily must go away.
Yeah.
Then again, by the time of the 3DS, most companies sort of stopped doing it. It's a shame.
Yeah.
Those DS Castlevanias are so good.
They are quite good.
What's your favorite Igavania, Wheels?
Symphony of the Night.
Okay, cool. That's my favorite as well, but I was really more going for the handheld ones.
I have not played through all of them, but I think Order of Ecclesia probably.
Order is a really unique game. But yeah, as is the terrible one that possesses my soul at the moment, I have played through all of them. I'm not sure if I mentioned this on the last episode. I'm trying to finish every Castlevania game. I'm almost done.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you know it's crazy when you get down to Haunted Castle.
Yeah.
That game is just mind-numbingly hard.
So you've done both Castlevania Adventures?
Yeah, Castlevania Adventure and Adventure Rebirth. Belmont's Revenge, Legends.
What about, what the hell is that Game Boy Color game?
That's Legends.
Okay, Legends. Cool.
Legends, what?
Yeah, not a good history of Castlevania on the original Game Boy.
Belmont's Revenge is really, really good.
It is. The other
And
two are super
yeah.
butt.
Yeah. Like,
Especially the first
Adventure has an amazing soundtrack, though.
Yeah.
Which is tragic, because Adventure Rebirth soundtrack isn't very good. But, yeah, Adventure... I respect Adventure more than Legends, even though Adventure probably has more catastrophic flaws. Like, Legends' flaws anger me more, because it was 8 years after Adventure. It had no excuse. But, let's see, 1 through 3, I'm working on Simon's Quest.
Ugh.
As a game, it's a very interesting attempt. It's obtuse for, like... I feel like if it had more cartridge space, it would be a better game. Bearing in mind that it was a disk system game in Japan, which meant that it had a very limited space to work with. Like, part of the reason the disk system went away was that there was no practical way to make multi-disc games, and the disc size was fixed. It was like, I want to say like, it's a hideously small amount. I'm gonna go that. I think it's like 128 kilobytes.
Oh god, that's not acceptable.
Yeah, like it's super tiny. Okay, 112 kilobytes per disc.
Yikes.
It's ridiculous. So like the game was limited, and I feel like it's one of those things where if they had more space to have more dialogue, it would have been clear that the hints in the game are ridiculous and not meant to be, like, the things where they tell you to do things that are obviously impossible would not have meant something to you, because it's like, oh, well, that's obviously impossible, I have other things to listen to. But the game simply never, like, doesn't have enough space, and they prioritize, like, the feeling of deception and mistrust. And so you get that game. We actually lucked out, though, because our version doesn't have load times.
Ugh. Yeah. Definitely would not be able to stand that.
Imagine walking out, like, this is a thing that can happen in Dracula 2, as it's known in Japan. In that you can walk out of town, and the game loads, because you've left town. Then you get hit by a monster, and the knockback sends you back through the loading zone, and it has to load again. Then you have to walk back through and load a third time to get back where you were originally going. It's amazing. But yeah, Simon's Quest is an interesting failure, and its failure was important for defining what Symphony of the Night would be. Ironically, Simon's Quest feels like it's a sequel to Vampire Killer for the MSX more than it is a sequel to Castlevania. Sorry, I'm really not giving Hollow Knight its due. I don't know much about it, sadly.
I think, honestly, the visuals kind of do it.
Yeah.
More than anything we can say.
Definitely. It's a gorgeous, haunted sort of game. To finish that thought process. So, Vampire Killer, I want you to imagine Castlevania 1. But it's on the MSX too, so it can't scroll. Now, I want you to imagine that everything moves faster. Simon, the enemy's everything. Now, I want you to imagine that the level design is completely, like, it looks more like, say, if you've ever seen Bugs Bunny Crazy Castle, where, like, there's constant, like, elevation shifts all over the map. And also, all of the doors are locked, and you have to find keys to progress through the level. And all of the keys are hidden in blocks that are just that you just have to find ways to break. Like, oh, where's the key? Oh, it's hidden where you would normally find wall meat in a normal Castlevania game. Also, there are treasure chests that use different kinds of keys.
Nice.
It's
not nice.
It's bizarre. It's bizarre. But yeah, like, it feels like the precursor to Simon's Quest in many ways. I like the ability to just sit on the park bench.
I believe that saves the game. I hope that saves the game.
That would be a fitting way to save the game. But, yeah. So yeah, I've got a lot of Castlevania opinions now, even more than I used to. I used to have a lot. What's your favorite classic Castlevania, Wings?
3.
That's a good choice. That's a good choice.
Without a doubt, 3.
I think I would probably go with Rondo, but 3 is an excellent choice.
I mean, Rondo it is definitely brilliant, but I mean, obviously I played more of 3 back in the day, so
yeah, there wasn't exactly a lot of chance to have any nostalgic connection to Rondo. Because the version they gave us is, oh boy.
Yeah.
Don't play Dracula XX, children. It's the worst.
You'll be double-crossed.
How come you're willing to accept that name, but not Monster Hunter XX?
I'm really not for either of them, actually.
What if Monster Hunter was a platformer?
Mario.
What do you think that would look like? Say what?
Mario Hunter.
It would be Mario?
It would be Mario Hunter.
That's terrible. Don't hunt Mario.
Koopa Hunter.
Say what?
Koopa Hunter.
Oh man. Just Mario, like, scrambling around trying to hit Bowser for 30 minutes.
I think this thing is a boss.
I really love the decisions that Nintendo ultimately made with regards to how to name Mario characters in, like, I love the way that, like, localization changed a lot of character names in the 90s, and, like, the attitudes that companies have taken to try to make it so that no one's childhood was wrong, it's all fine, is really amusing to me. Like, in Sonic's case, they went with, like, oh, well, his real name's Robotnik, but he prefers to be called Eggman.
Yeah, that one's pretty funny.
And then, like, with Mario, it was just like, oh, he's Koopa in Japan, and he's Bowser in America, so he's King Bowser Koopa. Or, oh, she's Princess Peach in Japan, and Princess Toadstool in America. She's Princess Peach Toadstool. It's fine. You all just heard different parts of the full name.
Is this still officially Mario, and Luigi Mario?
It was never officially that, according to Miyamoto.
But the movie, man, the movie.
I love that movie with all of my heart.
Why?
Because it's so dumb! Like, because no human beings first thought upon seeing Mario as like, what if plumbers from Brooklyn fell through a dimensional wormhole into cyberpunk dinosaur world. No human being has ever thought, yeah, that's what I think when I look at this. And it's so crazy that I love it. It's so dumb. Like, oh, Toad, he's actually like, one, there's only one of him, and two, he's like a weird, like, protest songwriter who gets de-evolved into like a Goomba who's also... But Goombas aren't mushroom people or chestnut people. They're weird, like, de-evolved dinosaur people in giant suits.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
It's so crazy. And also Dennis Hopper being Bowser and as crazy as humanly possible. Or Bob Hoskins hating life as Mario. Like, I love it so much. I love that movie. It's so terrible, but it's the right kind of terrible. It's entertaining every time I see it. I would also like to point out that for the longest time the Koopalings had no Japanese names at all.
Really?
Yeah, I think that their official names are just the American names transliterated in Japanese, because they just didn't have names in Japan. But someone in America decided they needed names, and they were just like, man, I've been listening to a lot of music recently. Let's name him after Lemmy Kilmister. Let's name him after Ludwig von Beethoven. Let's name her after Wendy O. Williams. Let's remember, like, does anyone in the year of our Lord 2017 remember Morton Downey Jr.?
I have no idea who that is.
The only thing I've ever seen Morton Downey Jr. in was like WrestleMania. There's like a WrestleMania where he and Roddy Piper are, like, Piper is doing his old, like, talk show Piper's Pit thing, and like he's getting sick of Morton Downey Jr. chain smoking, and like he's just like, Mr. Downey, don't blow no more smoke in my face. And like Downey's like, oh yeah, of course not, and then just like blows a big puff of cigar smoke in his face. And he's just like, that's like the fourth time you've done that. He just starts getting annoyed. He's like, you know what? After another minute, he's like, you know what? You've changed my mind. Like, fire one up for old Hot Rod. Like, Downey turns around to light up another cigar, and then when he turns back to face Piper, Piper has pulled out a fire extinguisher and just blasts it in his face.
Nice.
But yeah, I don't think anyone remembers who Morton Downey Jr. is.
Not really.
But he is immortalized in frickin'. Man, that's so baffling to me. He's immortalized by a Koopaling.
I was listening to a Talking episode about Critic.
Oh, Talking Critic, yeah.
From there, but I have already forgotten who it was.
Say what?
I just listened to that today and I already forgot who it was. Several hours.
Yeah, I think they brought him up for that episode. I want to contribute to their Patreon because I would like to listen to the new episodes of Talking Critic that they're doing now, but alas and alack, I am spectacularly broke and so cannot. Such is life. What's Larry Koopa named after? There's a lot of Larrys.
Bapanada.
Give me that compass.
Say what?
Got a compass.
Oh, nice.
Which I believe
I
will
hope
now
it's more
show
useful.
me where I am on the map.
I hope that it's more useful than frickin' the compass in old Zelda games. It's weird to me now that I think about it, compasses don't exist in Zelda anymore.
Yeah, that is weird.
Okay, Larry Koopa may be named after the talk show host Larry King. However, according to former Nintendo America employee Dave Brooks, Larry is named after a musician like the rest of its siblings, in this case Larry Mullen Jr., the drummer for the rock band U2. That's baffling. guys, I've been listening to things. I'm naming this Koopaling after Iggy Pop. Maybe they can all get together and sing Let's Do the Odyssey. See.
I saw an 8-bit version of that today.
Oh, that's good. That should. Oh, now let's keep this wrapped up in current events. What? How many? Since this is finally being re-released in its original unadulterated form, how do you feel about Yoshi's Island? This is the first time that the Super FX enabled version is being released since its original release.
I think it's a really good game. I don't think it's the best thing ever created, but it's definitely a fantastic platform.
I've got a lot of nostalgic memory of Yoshi turning into things that Yoshi shouldn't turn into.
Yeah.
Yoshi as a car on stilts.
It's a really fun game, and I did sample some of the sequels, and I don't feel like
all
any
of them are bad.
Well, I was going to say, I don't feel like any of them were all that great until...
I'm not counting Woolly World as a sequel, because it feels like its own unique product, but it still kind of is a sequel.
Yeah, I'm counting it, and I would say that was finally that's really good.
Yeah, that one's gorgeous. Oh, and I can't wait for that Switch, felted and cardboard.
Oh, 断シャツだ。
Oh, man. But, I do actually have a soft spot for Yoshi's Story. I think that it's a very misunderstood game. Because people wanted a game that was like Yoshi's Island but more.
Yeah.
And what Nintendo created was a score attack game.
Choco, you're kidding. This.
Like, it's like, oh, if you just go through the game and grab 30 fruit immediately every time, like, every chance you can, and just take level 1s in every page, like, yeah, it's a super easy, super short game. But if you decide you want to do, like, the harder levels, or you want to do, like, all melon runs, like, the game gets really, like, it's a game built for challenge runs, basically. Also, I remember, like, a friend, like, meeting someone who told me about, like, frickin' black and white Yoshis being unlockable, and I was like, there's no way that's real. And it's like, oh no, wait, that is actually real.
This game does a good job of letting you know you're terrible and you've just been hit.
Yeah, well, guess what? Maybe if you were good.
Nice, more environmental graphical effects. Very nice. Ah. Ah. Damn little flies. So yeah, I believe this game is on sale on Steam right now.
It did.
Obviously, this is a thing that everyone would cash and purchase.
Yeah, I think it was like the first thing that Steam recommended to me when I logged in a few days ago, so it's probably something you can get hold of. I would hope that it's actually probably selling pretty well.
I think I found it by, it was on YouTube, and it just like popped up as like a recommended video. It's like, what's this? Awesome platformer. Oh crap, I just died.
Right.
Wow, that's a horrific death animation. note where I died, so I wonder if it does the thing from a certain series whose name is overused.
Yeah.
What series could I be referring to?
Let's not talk about that. It's now a platformer. Like, if you start talking about that series, I'm gonna start talking about Haunted Castle. Ain't nobody wants that. You want me to start talking about Haunted Castle, Will?
Nope.
Too bad. Water beat time.
Oh, what the hell? Okay, to get your money back, after you die, you have to go and kill your shadow.
Wow. Dark. I'm a shadow, the true self.
Baby, 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 baby.
Why did you pick the single worst of the battle themes?
I've got just downloaded Persona Q on my new 3DS recently,
You'll never
so
see it
I
coming.
just saw the icon on my screen and playing it for
You'll never see it coming.
Never see
Why isn't that on Switch? I want to replay it. I was thinking about it last night. Like, I want to replay this, but I don't have time to justify sitting in front of the TV replaying it.
Yeah.
And do you want to play it for the first time?
Yes, I'm taking a break because I need to finally finish Uncharted 4.
Or is this just for the Lost Legacies purposes?
Partly, yeah, partly because I've somehow managed to avoid spoilers to the ending of that, and I don't know how much longer that can continue, so I need to just burn through the rest of it.
Uncharted 4 to be followed by Uncarded. Listen, it happened to Jack and Daxter, and it happened to Crash Bandicoot. It has to happen.
To be followed by Jack and Daxter 5.
Oh man, they threatened to do that once, and then they were like, "Yeah, we'd rather do Last of Us instead."
I like Last of Us. I like.
If you've seen any of the things that they threatened about Jack 4, you kind of are happy that it didn't happen.
Okay, well, maybe they can think of something better now. Because
I hope so.
did not really want a Last of Us 2.
Yeah, Last of Us 2 feels kind of cash grabby.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was a leak of concept art. Let me see if I can find some of this concept art. It did not look great.
Oh god, these enemies are giving me flashbacks to Zelda 2.
Zelda 2.
The worst Zelda.
I'm glad that one of the headlines I find is New Jack and Daxter 4 artwork is absolutely hideous. Oh man, that's a face. This is a choice that you. Oh, this is grimdark. Oh no. Oh, don't do this to anyone. Yeah, I would like to see what. Like if I put this in, I'm putting this in your frickin' in IM. Like you're gonna come back and you're gonna ask why I put someone's DeviantArt image in your IM. Also, there are trophies in Crash Bandicoot that hint at DLC, and the people are having two warring speculations. One is that they've remastered and are going to sell you Crash Team Racing, and the other is that one of them might actually be referring to a level that was cut from Crash Bandicoot 1.
Ah. Could be interesting.
There is a known completed cut level from Crash Bandicoot 1 that was cut because it's mind-bogglingly hard. Even by the standards of that game, it's incredibly long and incredibly hard.
This can't be real Jack 4 art.
It's real. That was apparent. Like, Naughty Dog commented on it and said, yeah, that was something we concepted on but didn't go through with.
Okay, that's good.
We were saved. In conclusion, Hollow.
They should think about what they've done.
Think about what they've done. Think about, there's been a lot of company shake-up since the last Jack game came out.
Yeah.
Back when the last Jack game came out, both of the company's founders still worked there. We'll never have Jason and Andy's Magic Software back. Man, Andy Gavin was kind of nuts, actually. He was, I remember him making he essentially wrote another dialectic list for Jack Adventure. Referred to as game object-oriented list.
Huh.
Yeah. Okay, Gavin developed two list dialects for use in game development: Ghoul, game object-oriented list, and its successor Goal, game-oriented assembly list.
What? Why?
Because he was a tech wizard. Like, there's a reason that Naughty Dog's games looked and sounded better than anything on PlayStation 1 and 2. It's because they went nuts. There's Sony tried to recreate their streaming technology for Crash Bandicoot and couldn't. There's that awful-looking Crash Bandicoot knockoff that they concepted and never finished with a... I seem to recall its name was vaguely, oh, what are you thinking? Let's see if I can... its name is stupid and I don't remember what its name is. Oh, it was Jalapeno Harry. That's what it was.
Jalapeno Harry.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Sony, okay, the reason that we know about Jalapeno Harry is actually because of an interview from Jason Rubin. Sony even started to mess around with its own internal platformer based on the success of Crash. Because Universal owned Crash before Sony bought Naughty Dog, Sony thought that in case Crash went away, they needed to have an engine that could do what we were doing. And they actually internally started working on a Crash killer, they called it, that was eventually Harry Jalapeno, believe it or not. They basically stopped the second that they acquired Naughty Dog. It's just like, why do we even bother? But, yeah, essentially, there was apparently, at the time, some speculation that Naughty Dog had gotten, SDKs and, access to, libraries to develop on the PlayStation that were, better than everyone else's, and it's just like, no, we made that ourselves. That's, the reason that our games do more than that is because, one, we made the tools for them ourselves so that we could access the hardware in ways different from everyone else. In conclusion, jalapeno Harry.
Jalapeno Harry.
That's one of those things where it's like that. Whatever that character was, it could not have been good. I will brook no argument in favor of such a reprobate as jalapeno Harry. That's a really good old-timey insult, in my opinion. Reprobate.
What does that even mean?
It's... I'm trying to remember the full, like... I mean, obviously, like, it means someone that's, like... It is a jocular way of saying someone that's kind of like a no-good... like a no-good sort of person. But, like, I feel like it used to have, like, a kind of more, like, really old-timey sort of fire and damnation meaning. Which is why, my Twitter profile, which keeps getting longer and less useful, currently refers to myself as a heinous reprobate.
I'm gonna wrap this up as soon as I find a save point. Obviously, we mentioned coming up soon will be Crash Bandicoot, race mode.
Race around the world.
I have a giant stream of Risk of Rain that I'm kind of gonna post mostly uncut. Just basically, slap the intro on and there you go. And I think coming up sometime after that will be Metroid Prime Dose.
And then sometime after that, in a terrible world where I finally get streaming working, all of you will have to endure me screaming obscenities at Haunted Castle.
Nice.
Believe in it. Believe in me.
And if Twitch ever shows up on Switch, we will probably switch over to doing a bunch of Twitch streams.
Oh man. I dream.
When's that Monster Boy game coming out?
Say what?
When's that Monster Boy game coming out?
I think it's later summer, but I don't know. Let me check. Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom is due out... This says 2017, that's not useful.
Sweet.
Sometime this year, we will do one for Monster Boy, because Monster Boy will deserve it.
Yes. We will also do one for Dragon's Trap at some point.
Yeah. The second that Switch streaming becomes the things that we can do.
Well, also, they are releasing a physical PS4 edition. So, worst case, whenever that comes out, we'll do that.
Is that limited run?
No, it's, I don't know, I got it through Play. I ordered it through Play Asia. It may also be doing a limited run, I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, I was just curious because, like, it seems like the sort of thing they would pick up, but it's also the sort of thing that can have have an actual physical release as well, so who knows? And there's so many versions of Wonder Boy 3, there's so many. And all of them have different names. But yeah, signing off. Goodbye.
Not yet, I haven't found a save point.
I assumed that you were good at games.
I have not found a bench.
Why did I think you were good at things?
I'm climbing back out to town.
Okay.
You know what? I can do that off stream. Alright, we will see you next time.
See you next mission.
I'm never prepared to stop the stream.